some more people to come in too. Hold tight to get them to come in as well.
Okay, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube.
Great. Okay. Let me know, did you want to start while I'm still inviting?
Okay. You just left out of StreamYard.
I don't know how.
It's all good. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube, and so I can go ahead and go. Hello. I am so pleased to be here. I was able to meet this gentleman here. Okay, I see you. Are we showing video? Well, I was able to meet this gentleman here. I was so excited. What is that noise that you making over there? My goodness. We're gonna put you on mute. Okay. I was able to meet him last week. Okay. And we're attempting to do healthy versus toxic relationships. Okay. So the way that it's going to work here is I'm going to introduce myself. That's the agenda. He's going to introduce himself. Then after introducing ourselves, we're going to allow people to, you can put a comment in on a relationship question that you have. Or if you are in the audience here on Clubhouse, you can come up and tell us about a relationship question that you have. And we will be happy to both answer coming from our expertise. Okay. So I am Erica Kesse. I am the son of the Thriveverse, powered by love, wisdom, and celebration. I am a multifaceted leader, creator, mommy, and a therapist and CEO of Your Goal Concierge, where we provide a plethora of options for leaders to find their right fit solutions. Leaders that may be experiencing imposter syndrome or burnout. So if you are interested in learning more about all of the services, which includes coaching and counseling, as well as certifications, digital products, AI products, and being your visibility wing woman, please reach out to me at www.yourgoalconcierge.com. Everything's on the homepage. Welcome Kathy and Major to the Clubhouse room, and those who are watching or looking at the replay on Facebook and YouTube. So now we'll love to hear from you. Your introduction, sir. Donzell. I believe that Donzell's having some technical difficulties at this moment. This is our first time attempting to do this. Okay, no, you've come off mute. No, you haven't. This is our first time attempting to do this room. We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube, as well as in this Clubhouse space. We are excited to be in the house. This is the Thirsty for Love Healthy Relationships house. Okay. If you have a red ticket, that means that you can cash that in to become a part of this house and know when we will be going live. We'll be going live every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central. So, is anyone in the audience or viewing have a relationship question that you would like for us to answer? Please raise your hand. Raise your hand, and would love for you to come up, and we will be happy to answer your question. All right. Donzell, are you ready to give us your introduction? Okay, yes. I see that you're off mute here in Clubhouse. Are you ready to give us your introduction? Welcome to the space, Destiny. Happy that you're here. Hello, Raven. Welcome. All right. Hello, Destiny. Welcome to the Thirsty for Love, Healthy Relationships room on Clubhouse. You have a red ticket there. You can cash that in and join this house. The house is the owner of the house is Donzell Snipes, who is the relationship mentor. Because really really want to the goal is for us to answer any questions that you have regarding relationships. So if you have a question that you would like us to answer, we'll be happy to answer from our expertise. I am a therapist, licensed professional counselor, and he is the relationship mentor. Okay. And would love to answer any questions you have. Let's see. Donzell, I see that you're on StreamYard. Okay. I see that you're on StreamYard. And hello, Donzell. I'm just hearing noises. He is trying so hard, you all. Hello, Lavetta. Happy to see you. Welcome to the space. We are inviting people up to ask any questions they have regarding um, healthy versus toxic relationships. Hello, Charmaine, and to the space. Happy to have you to come in. We are room healthy versus toxic relationships. If you would like to come up and ask a question regarding relationships, we would love to have you. Donzell is working on getting back in the room and being here as well. Hello, Prophet, and welcome to Healthy versus Toxic Relationships. Okay. Well, in the meantime, if no one has any questions, you can post them in the chat as well. We would love to have any questions that you have regarding relationships, coming from the expertise of a licensed professional counselor. And Donzell Snipes is the relationship mentor. All right. Welcome, Albert, to the space. So I think that the first thing that we should talk about is people's being particularly able to identify emotions. I know one of the first things that I do with most clients is them really understanding emotions and being able to identify them. You know, some people have not been allowed to feel their feelings. They were told that they could not or they should not feel the emotions that they have, and that they could not express them. Or they particularly were told that they could not feel their feelings, so they were very much was avoidant of them. So that's what I would like to chat about today. If no one else has anything any questions that they have, welcome Anthony to the space as well. We're happy to have you. Welcome, welcome. Blessings to you as well, Prophet. Anyone have any questions regarding any relationships in their life? We would love to answer any questions or any comments that you have regarding relationships. What I would like to focus on today is the capability to identify emotions. The reason why I want to bring that up is that is one of the main things that I do with most people who come to work with me, is first giving them an emotion wheel, for those who actually understand that we have thousands of emotions inside of ourselves. And then for people who have a problem with identifying emotions on a person's face, right? It's important for them to have the emotion list with the different faces, so they can know what a face looks like that has that emotion. And that allows you to have empathy as people are talking with you, interacting with you, and you can be able to interpret what's coming across on their face and in their demeanor as you are interacting with them, or maybe even noticing their tone or the things that's coming across or that you're sensing as they are speaking. It's important to be able to notice that. And the reason why we want to bring that up in relationships is a lot of people are not very attuned to other people, or capable of tapping in to people in a way in which they can hold space and really understand what they're not saying by what they're saying with their nonverbal communication. And the nonverbal communication is the expression of emotion on your face, in your demeanor, and in your tone. So really wanted to make sure that we bring that up today and ask you all, have you experienced that? Do you know about all of your different types of emotions? I do have some resources that I can drop into the chat for you. If you're a person that needs to be more attuned to your emotions, I suggest the emotion wheel. And then I also have the information for the, actually, there is a amazing site called Therapist Aids. It's called therapistaid.com. This is an amazing site that has tons of things you can search up and be able to have regarding things that you're thinking about. I know that a lot of people are going to AI to get answers, but it may be a better solution for you to go to a place that actually this is coming specifically from from therapists using these worksheets and information in therapy sessions instead of going to AI. AI usually is operating from, regurgitating what you are particularly putting into the input. So it's important to get your sources and information from places that are, better solutions, or at least compare. Because I know I have a lot of clients come to me and they've been interacting with AI and they come very confused. So I want you all to have the information that you need. So I'm putting these sources in the chat right now. The emotion wheel, and also the one where you have the faces, okay? Because it's very important in relationships for you to be attuned to your emotions. And, this is the first step of emotional intelligence. The very first step is to know that you have a plethora of emotions. It's like having your emotions is like having, you know, if you're a parent, it's like having 1,000 kids. If you are a pet owner, it's like having 1,000 dogs or 1,000 cats. So each one of them have their own personality, their own way of moving. But I just want to tell you something about our emotions. Our emotions are very much here for us. Their main goal is to keep us safe. That's what they're here for. You may be thinking, well, you say anxiety is here to keep me safe, or overwhelm, or rage is here to keep me safe. These are emotions, yes, and they are here to keep you safe. They are trying to tell you something. They are data. That's data input into you, telling you that you feel this way, and it's asking you to soothe it, not to react to it, but to soothe it. Yes, a lot of people have anger and then they react. Well, that's a behavior. You don't have to react and do something that you shouldn't do when you have anger. You should soothe it. And what is soothing it? Soothing it means that you take care of yourself. You do things that you like. You breathe. You read a book. You talk to a safe friend. You take a walk. You listen to music. Soothe your emotions. You're supposed to acknowledge them and feel them and soothe them. And the same goes for people that you're interacting with in relationships. You will be an amazing person to be in relationship if you notice that someone in your relationship with you is going through, or you can sense that something's going on, and you just stop and allow them to process and be soothed. You will have a better experience with them. I'll give you all an example. I do a leveraging leads meeting every morning, and I have two ladies who are hosts with me. And one of them, it was the first day of school, and I heard her before we got started talking to her husband saying, please get a picture of her before she goes to school. And I heard that, right? And I noticed that, and I'm aware of her. So I said to her when she came back, it sounds like to me, and I can sense that you want to have this moment with your daughter. I want to let you know that it's two of us here as well. We got this. You can go ahead and take care of your daughter. We will take care of this. We'll see you when you come back. Now, if people are not attuned to others and they cannot sense things and they do not acknowledge other people, then she would have went ahead and done her role, but she would have missed out on something special. The picture, the first day of school, and that's something she can never get back, right? And I want to be the person that's in relationship with her that allows her to have that type of care. And we all deserve that type of care. We all deserve someone who is really paying attention to us and allowing us to have our human experience that is beautiful, and we're attuned to each other. So hello, I want to say hello to the new people in the room. Hello, Solomon. Hello, Tony. Welcome, welcome. This is Healthy versus Toxic Relationships. I'm Erica Kesse, a licensed professional counselor, a business execution coach. I am the son of the Thriveverse, powered by love, wisdom, and celebration. I am here partnered with the relationship mentor, Donzell Snipes. He says, I'm here. Okay, I'm glad that you're here. Tell us, please give us your introduction.
Greetings to each and every one. I was putting it in the chat that I was having some technical difficulties, and I believe what the problem was, Erica, I couldn't be on Clubhouse at the same time as StreamYard. So nevertheless, I had to get out of there, and it came back over here on here. But nevertheless, thank you all for joining. I have been in this room before and opening up, had several rooms. I partnered with Miss Erica. It seems as if I'm just surrounded by a lot of therapists, and that's a good thing, right? But nevertheless, it's Donzell Snipes, also known as Coach Donzell, and I say it with one L now. And I work with students, I work with young people, I work with couples to help mentor them and to mend their broken relationships. And today we have an amazing topic and partnered with Miss Erica, where we're talking about healthy versus toxic relationships. And thank you again, Erica, for filling in that time, because I was having a hard time. Back to you. I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh, well, I was wrapping it up. I was ready to ask anybody in the chat if they or chat, or if you want to come up and ask a question. The way that we are doing this is both he and I are going to be here. Those who have any questions regarding relationships or anything that we've mentioned can come up on stage. They can ask any questions that they have, say any comments that they have, and then we would love to converse with you regarding relationships. And for those who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can put your comments in the chat here. Would love to see your comments, and we will be happy to answer those as well. So this is the time for you not to be shy. Come on up and share whatever you would like to share and to engage with us. Again, I see you. Thank you, Kathy, for being here. Major, Lavette, Albert, Tony, Noah, and Solomon. One thing I want to say is for those who have those red tickets, you can cash those tickets in and become a member of this house, which is Thirsty for Love, Healthy Relationships. All right. And yeah, when I met Donzell, I thought, oh, this would be so great for us to come together with our expertise, a male and a female, to share our particular takes on what is going on with people so that they can make sure that they have both perspectives. I know that a lot of places there's usually one perspective or another with the people in the room. So it's important to have both perspectives represented. So that is one of the reasons why we decided to do this room and this space. So you all are very quiet. Is there anything that you are thinking about when you were thinking about relationships and how you operate in relationships? Are you attuned to your emotions, and are you very cognizant and empathetic of other people's emotions as they are interacting with you? Would love to know. And you can come on up and share if you would like.
You know what? If not, Erica, that's fine. We can start off with an intro. I was thinking, what is healthy? When we talk about healthy versus toxic relationships, you got to know what healthy looks like. I work with students a lot. And on Tuesday, used to be on Tuesdays. Now, forgive me what I'm about to say, but what the young people call it is New Booty Tuesday is what they call it. And so that means that, and that's kind of how I created this particular topic, the room, and the name of it was Thirsty for Love. And so I had to address, as being a career counselor at Job Corps, I had to address what is a healthy relationship and what is a toxic relationship. And what on New Booty Tuesday, what that really meant was it was new people. Every Tuesday, we got new students. And so maybe I'm booed up with Erica this week. Next Tuesday, Erica didn't drop me, and maybe she's booed up with somebody else, and I get with someone the following week. But what I soon began to realize is that most of the young people were involved in these relationships very quickly. But what I later found out that they were toxic relationships. They quickly grew as toxic relationships because they really didn't get the opportunity to this. I said, hold up, wait a minute. Can you at least give it 3 months? Can you give it 6 months? Do you even know his favorite color? Do you know his favorite size? What is his favorite? What is his middle name? And so many times we're so thirsty for love that we'll quickly get into a relationship. We'll jump into a relationship, not really understanding that person. And I think a lot of that has to deal with what Erica was just saying, being in tune with your emotions, knowing who you are as an individual. I found out too that my young spirit can draw up many young ladies. And I realized, I said, no, I got to be careful how I move. What they say, when you move, when I move, you move just like that. Well, we got to be careful. You better move around is what the young people say, right? Because it's how you engage with a person. And a lot of times I'm noticing that a lot of people, if I'm not careful, the emotional intelligence, people are just, they infatuated with your emotional intelligence, with who you are, how you talk, how you engage as a person. So I found myself really taking time and breaking these things down for our young people. And so we went to each dorm And the counselors had to really talk to these so-called couples that later we found out that were not compatible. They was just looking at face value, and before you know it, they was in a toxic relationship, and it can get really ugly really quick. Let me be quiet. Come on here, Erica. What you want to add?
Oh, I mean, you are absolutely correct. I think that there's a lot of that going on with the loneliness epidemic. There is a lot of just picking people and seeing where it goes. But that could cause you to be involved with people who are going to reiterate the abuse that you've already experienced in your life. That could cause you to be involved with circumstances, even energies that are not the best energies for you. And I'm glad that you took a step back, oh my goodness, for saying what is a healthy relationship. So I put another tool in the chat, so you all have the two relationship wheels, and I'm not relationships, the emotion information. But I also put in there a healthy relationship wheel. And on this wheel is respect, fairness, supportive, communication, partnership, equity, accountability, and safety. So it's all these things that's included in a healthy relationship. But the first relationship that you must have is the one that you have with yourself. So if you are not respectful of yourself, so think about the negative self-talk that you have, right? If you're not respectful of yourself, if there's no fairness, if you're not supportive, that means you're a person of your word. If you are not able to communicate using I feel statements and have boundaries in your life, if you're not doing these things for yourself, if you are not in partnership with yourself, and that means that you are in alignment with yourself. If there is not accountability that's going on with you working on yourself, then you probably should be working on the relationship with yourself. And then once you have done a lot of that work, you can enter into a relationship with someone else where you are asking them what kind of work that have they done to prepare themselves for a healthy relationship. I know that people are like, but wait a minute, I'm lonely. I want to be involved with someone else. But I just want to I'll tell you for a fact that it feels so good to be spending time with me, myself, and I, when you really do allow yourself to do that. When you give yourself at least 15 minutes a day. I know at first sometimes it's a scary place to go, but if you start giving yourself that time, you're going to love spending time with yourself, knowing yourself, and also being clear about who you are. So you're not allowing circumstances to show in your life that are not the right fit circumstances, that are not ones that are going to trigger you, that are going to harm you. So that's the healthy relationship wheel.
That is really good, Erica. So what I learned, I've been married now. It was two. I've been married twice. The first time that I got married, um, they said the pastor told me. He said, "Man, every man deserves a good woman." And I say, yeah, and every woman deserves a good man. And I say, yeah, you're right about that. And so during that time, we got married. And what I realized is that it became very toxic very quickly. I thought I could handle what she had went through as a child growing up in her home, and I thought that maybe she can handle what I went through. We had talked about it, but when you come together, really looking at what healthy looks like, the open communication, being able to say no and be disagreeable. Do you not know that's healthy? Also, being able to have a moment where to yourself. I've noticed that I was talking to someone earlier. Sometimes people can be so in love with that one individual that I gotta have you around me 24/7. But do you not know that being healthy is okay for me to leave and go to the store, hang out with the fellas? It's okay for me to have a little me time, and it's okay for you as that wife or that girlfriend or that friend, because you need that time. Don't lose yourself in a mate. And that's what I found myself this second time around. I got comfortable. And I know you would probably say, why wouldn't you should get comfortable. But it's okay to get comfortable to a degree. Don't get so comfortable where you can't make corrections. You can't make improvements for yourself. Don't stop working on you. And the other piece I learned, don't stop loving on you. Don't stop respecting and valuing yourself. And that's what I have taken away from this last experience of what I call a marriage. That I'm able to support everybody else. But I found out that I have to pull back a little bit, because it's easy for me to support and help others, but sometimes I don't see it always reciprocating on my end. And so I have to learn to take the Superman cape off and pull back. And it's okay if you have, being healthy may look boring, but as long as you're able to communicate and to function and to move forward in a lot of areas and to make wise decisions among each other, I believe that is key. And it's how you vet a relationship. So those were some of my thoughts. Let me pull back. Any thoughts or responses? And as Erica said, feel free to come up if you have any questions or any comments in the chat.
I think you said a lot. I mean, I feel like that's one of the reasons why you and I really do work together here, because that's exactly one of the main problems that I've had in most relationships is me being overzealous, overzealous with my love, and sometimes not seeing that they're not reciprocating as much as I am giving in the relationship, but then noticing it and saying, wait a minute, and stepping back. Yes. So we have, is it Ashish? I don't know how to say it. Here on the stage. Hello and welcome to Healthy versus Toxic Relationships. What is your question or comment?
Okay, my question is that why we need to focus on this, whether it's a healthy or toxic. What is the need of the focus? Either way, right? I'm not saying one way, but is it possible to live as an independent existence and then the world is providing roses and thorns as an acceptance?
Well, I think that's true. You can, if that's who you want. That's what you want to do. You want to be single. You can have a balance as well with that. But because since the room is thirsty for love, and I'm a healthy relationship mentor and coach, that's what we chose to kind of focus on today. But I like your perspective, Mr. Ashish. If you desire that, that's fine. Everybody has a gift, and if you want to be married, that's fine. If you don't want to be married, but I think across the board, just learning, you don't even have to be in a romantic relationship to know how to effectively communicate and to have healthy friends. I think about that a lot. Normally I'm by myself, and that's okay. I'm the only child. But I love working with people and helping people, and I get that momentum and that good vibe, on a daily basis. But I also want to have experience a healthy relationship. When you experience me, or when I experience you, I want to be able to leave with something positive. And here's the other piece that I've learned, and I know it's so true. I work around my coworkers 8 hours of the day. I work with them more than I do than I see my child or my grandchildren. And so I don't want to be mean in your presence. I don't want to have an attitude or a toxic, a mentality or relationship with you. I want to have a positive one. And so I think these skills, these tools that we're discussing, that Erica has given us with the wheel, I think they can help in every capacity of a relationship. And we have to really enlarge our mindsets to be able to, even with my mother, I've gone through a lot of things with her mentally. She had some mental challenges, and it was really hard. And I wish today that she would have really explained or communicated with me that what she was trying to convey and what she was trying to impart into me when I was growing up. But I just thought she was just mean. I thought, like, what's wrong with you? Why? I ain't never seen no woman like this. But I later found out she was trying to build some things in me. She was trying to work some things out of me that I didn't even have the clue and I didn't have the knowledge of. And so I think a lot of relationships, when we look back at it, there's a lot of lost communication. It's a lot of gaps. It's a lot of trauma in these relationships. And the reason why, because some of us have not been vetted correctly. We have not been mentored. We have not even discussed this. Even when I talk about my dad, that was really a sour time for me. But then I realized when I go to counseling as well. And she said, I see that's coming up. I want you to write a letter. And as I began to write the letter, I began to write as my 8-year-old self or my 10-year-old self. I was really young. And I began to weep, not for him, but for myself.
Mm-hmm.
For me to love so deeply and want that relationship and wanted that connection with my father so that he can teach me how to be a man and how to thrive and how to have a healthy relationship. He didn't give it back to me because I realized he didn't know how to, or maybe he didn't care. So these things come up, and as we talk about them, it is highly necessary because we're living in a time now, like I heard Erica say, it's the AI community, it's the AI culture. And so not only that, we can't allow AI to take away from us as being human, because what I bring to the table is vital. It's imperative that my children need to know how much I love them and where I come from. They need to know my history. They need to know their DNA. They need to understand their ancestry. I hope that makes sense. And so these particular tools are vital in every capacity of our lives. I hope that makes sense.
But it is possible getting it everywhere, right? Maybe there are 4 places, where we find a job, but maybe there are 96 other places where our interests are not matching, right? And you see, and then we are looking it for everywhere. Whenever we are into the relationships, we expect that to be healthy. But maybe our 4 out of 96 are maybe opening the door for us. Others are not healthy for us. We are not wanted there. That's quite possible, right? So then if we understand the statistics, why we are trying to cringe about every relationship we are in.
Okay, thank you so much for coming and speaking, but I'm having I'm trying to understand what is it that you're conveying. We're saying that we're not just talking about romantic relationships, we're talking about all relationships, and it is our responsibility as each individual to have circumstances around us that we are allowing for ourselves to have, create, and basically reiterate that healthiness is something that we want. So we're looking at how to make sure that happens for us. So that means we're being intentional and taking ownership of who and what is around us and who and how we show up in our relationships. So I'm not understanding what you're saying, not making it something that we think about or talk about.
Sure. So there are a lot of shops around maybe where you live, right? But you don't go and work, you cannot work on every shop out there, right? Which are near you, okay? And what happened that whichever people you are connected with, it may not be always healthy relationships, right? You have to accept that this connection will not match. And then once you accept it, the connection will not match. And with only few people, the connection will match, right? Maybe only few places you can work, but not everywhere. Maybe you are good in electrical engineering. Now you cannot work at mechanical engineering or civil engineering shop. Pretty simple, right? And the relationships also very similar. The kind of personality that you are, which could be matching, not with every other personality out there. You're matching with a very few personality. aren't we accepting this fact that the relationship failure could be obvious rather than an effortful attempt to make it fail again and again?
Well, this room is we're discussing relationships and the questions. It sounds like you're probing and you have a lot of possibilities. I've noticed your the background. You said you love thinking or something to that nature. We're just talking about relationships versus healthy versus toxic relationships. So with that, what questions in regards to a relationship do you have? Or do you have any questions?
Exactly. So that is what I'm saying. So one of my observation is that maybe the 4% of the relationships are healthy, right? 96% of relations may not be healthy. And then maybe I'm just trying to make an attempt to derive the healthiness from these relationships, right? The healthy aspect of relationships. But it's possible that the quality that I am looking for and the quality what people can offer could be drastically different.
And then you take ownership of who is around you. So we're saying, hey, you take ownership of who's around you, your relationships, how they are there for you, and you allow yourself to have the experience that you want to have. That's what we're saying here. If you believe that you just allow relationships to be how they are, then that's your belief. But here we're saying, hey, you can take ownership of having a great experience and having healthiness. Camilla, we're so happy you're here. Please go ahead and share whatever you would like.
I was just going to kind of add to what y'all were saying to the gentleman. We totally control any relationship that we decide to have in our life, whether it's a work relationship, a romantic relationship with our children, our parents. So we're in total control of it. And it's in or it's out, right? We control it. Nobody else does. So we cannot say, oh, this happened because of that person, or this is that. You control it. And I think that's what they're basically saying. At the end of the day, if we're in a healthy relationship, it's because we control that. We chose to be in it. If we're in a toxic relationship, it's because we chose to be in it, whether it's a work environment or not. And you even said it yourself, if I'm in a work environment that's not healthy, it's up to me to decide what I need to do to make the situation better for myself. I can go to HR. If that doesn't work, I can figure out how I can make the environment better for myself, maybe staying and figuring it out or walking away. But every relationship that we're in, we make the choice on how we can handle things for ourselves. Because any relationship we're in, we're the most important person in it because of who we are for ourselves. Like it's kind of simple once you start peeling the layers back on yourself and working within yourself. Your relationships that are outside of yourself becomes not toxic, but healthy because you did the work within you.
That's good. That's good, Camille. Thank you for joining and bringing such value. Does that make sense, Ashish? I hope that makes sense. You can respond in the chat. And I was thinking too, if it's not serving you, like you said, some things doesn't really serve us value. It has a purpose, but if it's not serving me, if you're constantly taken away or diminishing, these young people always say, I work around them a lot, the vibe, you killing the vibe, you killing the vibe. But you should know when you've been in someone's presence that they are bringing some positivity to you. I shouldn't have to adjust myself to sit around you or to be around you. Like, it's good to see you. I'm smiling, but then I'm so happy to see you gone out of my space. So when you're in my space, I think we both should be bringing something positive to the table. And if we're not, what are we doing? Right? And that goes from even with my daughter. My daughter should be 26 in the September the 22nd. But we have a good working relationship. And my oldest daughter, we have a good relationship, but it's not as it could be better. And a lot of it is just one-sided on her side. And so some things I'm learning that I have to open up my mind to and adjust from where I'm like, okay, let me see what you're talking about, what you're talking about. And so we really have to pay attention to what are we bringing as a positive vibe, how are we valuing these relationships, and what is the quality.
That was really good. I say it all the time. I told my kids, I tell them now, I got a 12-year-old. I tell her all the time, baby, you're the only person that's required to be in my life. The countdown is real. Once you turn 18, if you get to doing all that foolishness, the door will be closed. Every relationship can be removed. I had to tell my mama the same thing because she felt like since she was my mama, oh, well, now you know how they do in our culture. You mama, you got to be their family. They ain't going nowhere now, baby. If you disturbing my joy and my peace that God gave me, baby, you out there. I don't care who you is. So you was totally right about them kids, them grown kids that think they know it all. You can think you know it all right on over there. And I'm going to be right over here enjoying my peace.
Thank you for saying that. That's what I say to my daughter too. I got a 14-year-old. Listen, I tell her, go manage your emotions because your energy is not the energy. I remind her who am I? She says, yeah, you're about celebration. Right. If you're not here in my space to celebrate, to have love, wisdom, and celebration, you got to go. And I don't have no problem moving you out of the situation because that's me taking ownership of my experience. And then why is it that other people, that's one reason why we're here. We're teaching you and trying to show you how to be a healthy relationship. You be a healthy relationship so that then people don't have a problem interacting with you. Be a good experience. Or you can decide not to be. But I do have to say, Donzell, I'm supposed to be here for only an hour. So I got to go. I have a client that I have to see.
That is perfectly fine. It's 4:15 now, so that's cool. I forgot you're in a different time zone, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you go ahead. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, so any questions? I posted some things